Okay, sorry guys, Periscope does not like scopes longer than an hour, and we were right about that hour mark. So, sorry. So the enrollership can go back once per person. So please don't give that away lightly. Talk to your upline before you ever give away enrollership, please. And if your upline is not engaged in the business, keep going up your tree until you find somebody that can help you. Seriously, that's what we're here for. That's what we want to help you with. So don't feel like you can't do it. That's what we want to help with, because we're just further down the road, so we understand those situations a little bit better, and we can see a little bit more of the picture than you can, especially when you're starting out. So placements, yes, they're tricky, but don't be scared of them. Make sure you are taking advantage of that 14-day move. Put it in your calendar. If you keep forgetting, put it a calendar reminder to remind you to check on them and move them. I always do that. Every new enrollment, it's always in my calendar. And I get that reminder, so I know, oh, I got to place this person by this date. What happens to enrollees when people go inactive? So what happens is everybody will bump up, okay? So we'll just finish up a little bit here with a few questions. So if you have questions, don't type them in right now while I'm explaining, or you can type them in, just wait to hit enter. So let's say if Jane right here goes inactive, like she hasn't placed an order in over a year, if she's not moving, you can have once you get to be silver, you get an account manager. So silvers and above have account managers that can kind of help you a little bit faster than customer service. But what you can do is, it's been a year, all of these people, if they're still active, will move up one level, which would be your front line. If you've got somebody, let's say here, we've got a person here and then a person here. If this here, we'll do triangles and circles, because that's what I like in the back office. I like the old tree. Okay, so if you've got this person that's inactive here, after a year of inactivity, they will disappear, and then this person is now on this person's front line. Okay, now, so yeah, does that answer your question, Naomi? I think that was Naomi that asked that question. Okay. Any other questions real quick before we close out our second scope? I will tell you guys that if you have a user that hasn't ordered in a while, no, you can't move them if they roll up. But if somebody goes, so this is a little trick. So after 6 months of inactivity, people can, like, let's say, back to the board. Okay. Let's say hold on. Okay, so let's say this is John. Okay? John signed up with me at one class when I was first starting, never got on loyalty rewards, and hasn't ordered in 6 months. John contacts me and says, oh, how do I log in again? And it's been over 6 months since John ordered. And now I'm a little bit more into the business and I understand about placements, and I don't need John on my front line. So I can say, John, before you place an order, can you send an email to placements so that I can just move you to another group on my team? Oh, sure. You type it out. I want to move John. So we're going to send an email into placements. And John, he has to request it from his email address that he signed up with. But I want to move John over here. You guys see that? So here's John. But John has to put in the request. So John has to email that in saying, I would like to be moved under Steve. But that helps me because John, that way his volume is in with Steve, which is Steve. I'm trying to get Steve going. He's going to be my builder. Do you see how that works? And you just have to email the placements just saying no. So it's a single, it would just be John moving. So anybody that would be below, if he had anybody below him, then no, it wouldn't change enrollership unless they request it. So my mom actually signed up with doTERRA about 6 months before I did because we just didn't talk about it and we didn't know. And so she went inactive, so she stopped ordering through her account, and she was able to email into doTERRA in order to get onto my team. And she requested me, because she was totally changing teams, which they can do, totally changing teams. So she asked for me to be her enroller. And yes, they do have to order. No, they don't have to wait to order. They can order immediately. And if they, if it's been more than a year, then they are going to have to reactivate, and they do need to place their order within 72 hours, or they're going to disappear from your tree again. So that's a little tricky. After 6 months of, so inactive means no commissions have been placed, no orders have been run through that account, nothing has happened. If they gave out, let's say they haven't placed an order, but they gave their web address, because we get a web address, right, when we sign up with as a wellness advocate. Let's say they gave their web address to their brother, and their brother ordered something through their website at retail. That counts as activity. So that is a way to clean up your front line. It's not the most efficient way, and don't rely on that for placements, but it can help clean stuff up, and it can help kind of group little volume together a little bit better. And so that is an option out there. But they do have, you can't request it. They have to send it from their email address that they registered with. Should you put more than 3 builders on your front line? I personally would not. I would put, if you have 3 builders going strong and you've got another one coming along, I would put them under maybe your weakest builder, or the one that needs the most help. And then if they make it in 90 days, then you can move them back up to your front line, and then they can be your new stronger builder. So that's why you can do that. The reason I would want to move John, because he contacted me and he wants to place an order, and I want to group his volume someplace else because I don't need additional volume on my front line. I'm easily making my 600 for my power of 3. And I would rather, if John gets placed under Steve, that John's now on my second level. So instead of making 2% on anything he purchases, I'm going to make 3%. So you can even put him down a little bit further if you know he's just going to be ordering retail, so you make a higher percentage on that. But that way his volume is getting that as well. Yes, John can totally get some more support within a team. So I would say, hey, John, I'm going to put you in Steve's group. Steve is a really, he's a fun guy. He's a surfer. You guys would love to talk, surfing with him, or I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But that way you can have that little conversation where you introduce them. Okay? Okay, any other questions? We've got Paul hovering outside the door. My best tip for placements is go to your upline and have that conversation. Actually, that's my number one tip, is have the conversation to qualify them. Yes, you keep the enrollment. Have the conversation and talk to your upline. That is the best tip I can tell you. You're not going to have the answer for everything. And also follow your gut. So even I'm going to use Roxy again as an example, because there was some definite divine intervention in our meeting. But as I was enrolling the enrollments from that class, Papa is hovering outside my door. It's hilarious. As I was entering the enrollments from that class, I was sticking them all under my hostess. She didn't want to do the business, but I was sticking them underneath her anyway. And there was one, and I was going to enter Roxy, and it's like, leave this one on your front line. Very clear impression. And I did. I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I didn't even talk about the business in the class. I haven't talked to her, but I kid you not, it was a week and a half or 2 weeks later, she contacted me saying, you know what, I think I might be interested in doing this business. Can I come over and chat with you? And that has happened to me on a couple occasions, and that time I listened. Another time I didn't listen. And thankfully for the 90-day Premier move, I was able to use that to get that person to my front line, which is Myra Powers. And so God cares about your business, guys. So don't dismiss that. If you feel a certain way, you're I don't know why, but I really feel strongly about this, listen to it. Okay? Worst case scenario, you have an extra person on your front line or someplace else. But ask them, talk to your upline, and just do it. It's not, you know, it is tricky. It is tricky. Okay, one more question about a ghost leg. Okay, what's your question? Because Papa's like a vulture. He's like, oh, poor guy. He's finally starting to feel better. But yeah. I'm guessing you're typing. We'll let you type for a minute. Okay. Okay, so if mom is a ghost leg, do they have to order 100 PB? That's only if you want them to help you out with your power of 3, or if you need that to be a qualifier. So like if you're going for silver, then you might need that leg to be a qualifying elite leg, which means 100-point LRP. If you're not using, if you're just dumping volume there, honestly, that's not really benefiting you that much, because if it's not a qualifying leg, or it's not a power of 3 thing, then there's not really a bunch of reasons to group the volume beneath them. Does that make sense? So, yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Is anybody else's brain fries? Yeah, it really is. It's a placeholder for a potential builder. So, so yeah, totally up to you if you do that 100-point LRP or not. If you find yourself that you're using more, if you're using like 200 PB a month in personal products, then yeah, split it up. It's not going to hurt you. But yeah, hopefully this has helped you guys a little bit. And I know placements is crazy, but it can really, you know, it's not the end of the world, but have some strategy there. Put some time and some effort into it, and definitely utilize your upline. That's why we're here. Oh shoot, now my phone battery is critically low. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a great day. Don't forget to check on your followers, guys. There's some creepers out there. Make sure you're blocking, be a blocking ninja. Oh, you're so sweet, Naomi. But yeah, on the blocking ninja, I'm sorry, your eyes will probably see some nasty stuff, but cover it up. The 3 little dots did that, and block user. And then that way you don't have nasty people following you. So anyway, have a great day, guys. Love you. Mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.